Yo guys, Otaku here. How's it going? Welcome to a special video. Now, this video and the next video I'm gonna upload is about the worst 5 and best 5 anime series I watched in 2023. Now, these are not anime that came out necessarily in 2023, it's just that I watched them and finished them in 2023. But first of all, let me get the greetings out of the way. So happy holidays, everyone. Just that should cover everyone. And if you don't celebrate anything, that's also fine as well. Nobody's gonna judge, you know. So for today's video, I also wanted to try something a bit different. I was tired of my voice, so I decided to have a guest speaker on. Kelsey, are you there?
Hey, JC. Hi, everyone.
All right, great. So I'll let you take over. And as for me, I will see you next year. So again, happy holidays, happy new year. And Otaku Up signing off for the last time in 2023. Peace.
Number 5. Cyberpunk Edgerunners. The show is set in Night City, a futuristic Californian metropolis. David is a teenager living in the slums trying to fulfill his mother's wish for him to reach the top of Arasaka Academy. After an incident with a street gang, David gains access to a Sandevistan prosthetic that grants superhuman speed. He uses it in a fit of rage on a bully at the academy, which gets him expelled, and soon after his mother perishes in a car crash. Broke and hopeless, he is given a lifeline by the Edgerunners, a gang of cyborg criminals. Ultimately, he becomes a leader even though many team members are killed along the way, but he constantly struggles to maintain his humanity while avoiding succumbing to madness. While it is definitely not the worst anime, I found David absolutely obnoxious. The story isn't bad, but predictable. Given all the insane hype, I was expecting something top-notch, but didn't quite get that. Hold on to your panties though, because I still gave it a 6 out of 10. Number 4. Planetarian, Chisanahoshi no Yume. It is 30 years after the failure of the space colonization program. Humanity is nearly extinct. Men known as Junkers plunder goods and artifacts from the ruins of civilization. One such Junker, Kazuya, sneaks alone into the most dangerous of all ruins, a sarcophagus city. In this dead city, he discovers a pre-war planetarium and is greeted by Hoshino Yumami, a robot in charge of the shows. Against his pragmatic instincts, he helps the robot repair the planetarium's projector, a decision which will change both their fates. Potentially this story could have been so much more, but the slow pace and lack of action makes it a rather boring experience. The latter parts follow a now-old Kazuya who travels to various locations and tells the story of the stars to other survivors. He does meet another robot in a shelter, and while we all wish it's Yumami, it is not. It's a different robot with a different card. I rated it 5 out of 10, it is not awful but definitely on the boring side. Number 3. Kizu Monogatari, Teketsuhen. Araragi is a second-year high school student. He is interested in Hanekawa, the top student in the class. When the two meet, Hanekawa tells him of a rumor about a blonde vampire. Araragi dismisses the rumor, but on his way home, he stumbles upon splatters of blood leading down the stairs to the subway. His curiosity leads him to the source, the rumored blonde vampire herself, dismembered and struggling to stay alive. She calls out for help, and Araragi, after some reservations, decides to help by offering his blood, a decision that changes Araragi's life. He becomes the target of human vampire hunters and is always worried about losing his remaining humanity and becoming a full-fledged vampire himself. While the sequels are better, this first part is very slow and tedious. It often has some text flashing on the screen, an attempt to be edgy and artsy, but it's just annoying after a while. I gave it 5 out of 10. If you can endure this one, the parts that follow are better. Number 2. Golden Kamuy. In early 1900s Hokkaido, after the Russo-Japanese War, Seiichi Sugimoto tirelessly pans for gold. The ex-soldier seeks fortune in order to fulfill a promise made to his best friend before he was killed in action, to support his family, especially his widow who needs treatment overseas for her deteriorating eyesight. One day, a drunken companion tells Sugimoto the tale of a man who murdered a group of Ainu and stole a fortune in gold. Before his arrest by the police, he hid the gold somewhere in Hokkaido. The only clue to its location is the coded map he tattooed on the bodies of his cellmates in exchange for a share of the treasure, should they manage to escape and find it. I found this anime slow-paced, boring, with annoying characters and uninspired dialogue. I rated it generously 3 out of 10 and gave up after the first season. Number 1. Tonikaku Kawaii. Nasa Yuzaki is a top student who has his whole life mapped out. On his way home one snowy evening, he notices a pretty girl across the street. Bewitched, he tries to approach her but is hit by an oncoming truck. The mysterious girl somehow saves his life and leaves him in the medic's care. However, Nasa somehow finds the strength in his crippled body to go after her and ends up asking her out. Surprised by his resolve, she accepts, but under one condition: they can only be together if he marries her. And sure enough, as soon as he turns 18, she shows up on his doorstep. Now let me tell you something. The first episode is the only good thing about this anime. Afterwards it takes a nosedive into oblivion. It's not particularly cute, the jokes are lame, and I rated it 2 out of 10, with the only point really coming from that first episode. It is atrociously bad, and I think the reality is that only very sad weebs actually enjoy it. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.